Hey guys, welcome to a spring and summer favorite video where I just share some of my favorite things I've purchased in the last while or some things I'm really enjoying for this season. I always have this like inner war within myself when I make these videos because I don't want to be like, you need to buy these, but I also really appreciate when I can trust people that make these kinds of videos. So my goal here is not to have very expensive items. I have one expensive item. Let me see. I think the rest of mine are, yeah, most of them are under $100, like under $20 kind of thing, with one exception that is expensive. And there are different things. Some of them are kind of even routines or habits a little bit that make my summer more enjoyable or have been making my spring more enjoyable. And hopefully these just spark something in you, some excitement. I'm not saying you need to buy all of these, but maybe you'll have an idea from this that will make your summer more enjoyable. So I've categorized it into 3 different categories. We've got personal, then we've got kitchen-y, which is a little bit of like food stuff, a little bit of cleaning stuff that takes place kind of around the kitchen. And then I have a few items that go in the random spot. So if you only want to see one of those categories, you can skip around. I'll have timestamps below, but let's get into it. We'll start like really underwhelming, just very, very basic. Let's start with deodorant. Everyone should probably use deodorant. There are some people that tell me they can get away without it. I'm not one of those people. But in the last year or two, I have been using Native deodorant. I know I did a spring, summer, or at least a summer video like this a few years ago, and I shared a different brand of deodorant. It started with an S. I was enjoying that. I've now gone over to Native, which is more expensive. This is, I think, $17 when it's not on sale, Canadian. More than I'd like to spend on a deodorant, but this lasts longer than the other brand that I was using. And I used to get like, I think it was like heat rash on my armpits or something. In the summer, they would become very red and bumpy. Since switching to this, they don't. I also used to, a long time ago, make my own. I've just gotten too lazy, and that can be a little bit liquidy in the summer, so I switched over to Native. I recently bought the coconut and vanilla one. I also really love, I think it's eucalyptus and spearmint. That's one of my favorite smell combinations in general, so I really like that one as well. If you haven't checked it out before, I'd recommend it. I know they have so many sponsored videos, so for a long time I didn't want to try it because how do I trust anyone if the video is sponsored? But I actually do like it, not sponsored. Okay, the other thing is kind of funny because at the beginning of the year, I wanted to quit using it, but I think I took about 2 months off and I started using it again. And it is my Lily watch. This is a Garmin Lily watch, and I have no idea if they even make this thing anymore, so I'm not really sure if this is much of an influencer thing or not, but I really love it. It's not a smartwatch. It's like I call it a mediocre watch. It pretty much does 2 things. It can track your workouts or your steps and stuff like that, and it gives notifications. So I am always missing phone calls from my phone. I can never hear it. I don't want to carry my phone around with me all day, so I'll leave it somewhere and then I'll miss a phone call. After not taking it with me, and I think it was part of December, January, February, I was like, I gotta put the watch back on because I'm missing too many notifications, and I always had to check my phone. Now I can choose which notifications I want to go to my watch. I don't do many, but I can see, oh, is this something I need to respond to right away, or can I leave it? And I feel like it helps reduce my screen time and my connection to my phone. So thought I was giving it up this year, but it turns out that it's actually helpful for my life. August will be 4 years since I've had this watch, and minus those 2.5 months, I've worn it every day. And my band is now broken. I have a little elastic hair tie that is holding it. I might need to buy a new band, but still going strong other than that. Next are these pens and highlighters I bought right after Christmas. I have them kind of spread throughout the house. It comes, I think, with 5 pens and 5 highlighters. It could be 6 and 6, I don't really remember. I have a couple in my Bible. I have them spread throughout the house. The highlighters are kind of neutral colored. I love that. The pens, well, colored on the outside, are all a black gel. And these are the pens that have converted me to a gel pen person. I have been a cheap ballpoint person up until now. Since using these, I've just been converted. I love them. The only problem I have is some paper they don't write on. And that kind of bothers me sometimes because my pocket journal is one of the ones that has an issue with it, and I like them, so I want to use them as much as possible. Definitely recommend these pens and highlighters. Another one of my summer favorites are these shorts that I'm wearing right now and have been wearing all summer so far. They are a jean short from Mark's Work Warehouse, and I have been wearing them nonstop since I purchased them like a month ago or so, 6 weeks ago, and I don't see myself stopping all summer. Next up, we've got the most expensive thing. Actually, I don't know how expensive the watch is. 4 years ago, I actually got it free when I got my phone, so I didn't have to pay anything for it. But my Kobo. I have been loving this since I got it in November. I feel like this could go on any seasonal list, but it's really good with handling glare from the sun. So I thought this would be perfect to share for the summer. I like reading outside when I can. Last year I was often trying to use my Fire tablet outside and the glare was just impossible. The sun just didn't work to read outside with it, but this totally works. So 7 months in now, still loving this thing. And the battery life is crazy. I've barely had to charge it. I think I've charged it 2, maybe 3 times, and I use it a lot. But I have my brightness down really low. That helps. Next are my Converse. So a couple months ago, I got some brown Converse. They are not like the completely original ones. They have a lower, they're a high top, but they're lower. I think they're called a mid something. And it took my heels a little bit of time to adjust. I often have this issue with new shoes. I just wear Band-Aids for the first few weeks, and now I find them so comfortable. Love them so much. Plus I feel really cool wearing them. Oh man, I'm telling you guys, this list is not like an epic list that's gonna make you spend all the money. This next one is Herbal Essences shampoo. So for the last while, I've been using, like before using Herbal Essences again, I was using a Kirkland shampoo because we have a lot of people in our family. Both my girls have hair that is like down to their butt or longer, so we go through a lot of shampoo. But I was just feeling like my head felt grimy, and so I switched to using Herbal Essences, and my hair feels so light. And then I got my girls to switch, and their hair is all doing so much better. We just go through a lot of shampoo. So I've been loving that. I do find that sometimes my hair needs a switch. So every few months I switch it up. So I'm curious to see if I can switch to like maybe a different fragrance in a few months. Will that be enough? Or will I need to try a different shampoo? I'm not sure, but right now I'm loving it. I only have one book on this list. I mean, I tried not to just have a whole book list, otherwise, yeah, that would be its own thing. But I wanted to share the Jesus Calm My Heart book. I shared about this recently. This is 365 prayers to give you peace at the close of every day. And they're just short little prayers that you can pray. It's supposed to be at night, but it could be any time. And I've really been enjoying using the table of contents because it tells you what kind of person each prayer is for. So it's for the woman who's laboring to see through the fog, is wrestling with the wise, feels like she can't go on, has a deep desire to serve you but doesn't know where to begin. 365 days of that. And if I know a friend that is going through a particular struggle, I'm finding it really great to use these prayers to pray for my friends. So not exactly how it's meant to be used, but that's what I'm finding works. And then I'm usually writing down the friend I'm praying and like the season that I'm praying in, because I think this will be a really good keepsake after, you know, years down the road, to see the different things I've been praying for my friends and how those either requests have been answered or how they've gotten through different seasons. So not exactly how it's meant to be used, but it's really working. While I'm taking a sip of water, why don't we talk about my water bottle? This is the Bottle water bottle. I don't know if that is just kind of like for English translating, or is it kind of hilarious and well thought out. I'm not sure. But I got this water bottle a few months ago and I love it. I love that it's big. Also, it's green. No surprise there. It comes in different colors, but I bought the green one. I drink a lot, and I've just kept this one on my nightstand so that I always have a water bottle upstairs because we have a 2-story, and I often like to drink before bed and in the morning. So it's got a spout, which I wanted because I'm a little klutzy. I also take this when I leave the house. Take it with me. I spill on myself like 50% of the time I drink, you guys. I'm really klutzy. So I wanted a straw. But sometimes I'm really thirsty. And there is also a section where you can just drink out of it normally. I don't know what that one's called, but and it seals really well. I've had 0 spills with this. And then like the icing on the cake is this bottom part screws off. And inside here is actually a pill container. And as someone that has to pop a bunch of pills every day, this is super handy. And as someone that has a bunch of lactose intolerant people in my house, I always keep the lactase pills in here, whatever they're called, for eating dairy. I highly recommend this water bottle. Also keeps my water very cold. One day I put some ice in, we went out for the day, and like the next morning there was still ice in there, and it was a hot day. And then it's got a handle as well. Definitely my favorite water bottle I purchased. I also know that when I made a summer list a number of years ago, I had a different water bottle that I shared, and I still have that water bottle, but I don't use it. I use this one exclusively now because I've always spilled on myself with that one, and this is a little bit more idiot proof, I guess. Klutz proof. So that was the start of the kitchen-y section. What else do I have on here? Oh, I got a bottle brush because I've been drinking out of a water bottle more, and my kids do as well. I got a bamboo water bottle brush, I think it is, from Amazon. Works well, cleans the water bottles. What more could I ask for? Then one thing I'm trying to do this summer is eat more protein. I have realized how little protein I eat, and because I've also been struggling with low iron, I'm just trying to boost my protein and then also hopefully boost some of my iron. And Jared has been using for quite some time, for years, protein powder. It's a Vega protein powder. It has plants. I can't remember what it was. Obviously we'll share some video footage of it. It's downstairs. I just didn't grab it. It's really good. It's decent. Like, it's not like, ooh, I can't wait to have it every day, but I don't dread it. It doesn't taste bad. I'm turning it into a smoothie. I'm adding a banana and some peanut butter, chia seeds, hemp hearts, flaxseed. I'm trying to add as much protein in there as I can, and yeah, I've been really enjoying that. Easy way to skyrocket my protein from where it was before. The next thing is something I've been doing for about 3 or 4 years maybe, and that is having freezies available to my kids on hot days. So when my kids are hot, they always want something to cool off, and freezies are super easy for that, being able to check that box without filling them up. And so I buy from Dollarama. There is a particular bag that I like that's like the perfect size. They're not the tiny freezies, they're not the jumbo freezies, but they're just the right size for the kids to have on a hot day. And so when they are hot and want something, I can give them that. Unfortunately, they got so used to it that they ask for it all the time. And now I have it has to be 20 degrees or warmer caveat, because otherwise they just wanted them on days where it was like, it's cold, you don't need a freezie. But that's a super cheap way to cool them off. We started this a number of years ago. I can't remember if it was 3 or 4. And we had neighbors move in straight from Ukraine, and there was a boy, my oldest age, and they introduced him to a freezie. He had his first freezie on our driveway. He was like, what is this? all summer he was eating freezies, and there's something that I feel like I can give to neighbor kids without filling them up with like not knowing when they're gonna eat and stuff. So cheap, easy, always have a bunch in the freezer. Plus the brand that we get now came out with a tropical one that they have at Dollarama. I bought the bag thinking kids probably won't like this one, but we'll give it a try. No, it's the most popular, and oddly, the pineapple freezie, I haven't tried it yet because they're always gone right away. It surprises me. A freezie pro tip is to store the package upright, and that way when they freeze, all the juice freezes on the bottom and they're easier to cut. I've learned that over the years, over the many freezies that I have frozen and handed out. Store them upright and it will save you, it's not that much hassle, but it saves you a bit of hassle, which adds up over time. Okay, and then kind of on that topic, if we've been out and we need something to cool off, but I want to be a little bit more creative or cool, then I have been making frozen hot chocolate. Also doing this for years. I just use like regular old cheap hot chocolate powder with some ice cubes and some milk or cashew milk or almond milk or whatever, and blend it up, and it cools the kids off. It also helps be a little bit filling, and it's just a little bit more of a treat than our regular everyday freezies. And the last thing, I've really gotten into flavored sparkling water over the last 2 summers, finally. So I realized that regular carbonated drinks, like sugary ones, really bother my stomach. I feel like I'm going to explode. But the flavored sparkling water drinks don't. So I like bubbly, I like aha, depending on the flavors. And I recently got the President's Choice one. I think it's a blueberry pomegranate, which you can't go wrong with. That's always a great combination. And I like having a variety of them in the fridge. And that is what I will drink on a hot day. Love the 0 calories. Love that it doesn't make my stomach feel like it's going to explode. It's an all-around win. Then I have 3 things in my random category. The first one is I have been buying children's Bibles, and I have come across one that I really like for the most part. I originally didn't purchase this one despite seeing good reviews because the illustrations were a little bit, or definitely are, cartoony, and I just felt like my 2 youngest needed something a little bit more real. But after purchasing a different Bible, I was like, no, I'm gonna try this one as well. And it's a storybook Bible. I will once again put up a picture because I don't remember the name of it, but it's by Kenneth Taylor, and it's been really good. What I like about it is the stories are short, but the pictures are adorable. They're not like realistic like I was kind of hoping for, but they're really cute. They do a really good job of whichever character is, if it's Joseph, he wears the same thing through all his stories, or you can tell that it's the same guy and each character looks different. I do like that. But the part that has been super good is there are about 3 questions at the end of each story, and I don't always go through all 3 when we read it, but I at least go through 1 or 2, and it's been a good way to just recap the story. Very Charlotte Mason-y too, kind of giving some narration to the story. We also always, before we read the story for the day, we recap yesterday's story, and I feel like this one is a good children's Bible. I also love like the Jesus Storybook Bible and stuff, but I felt like for these 2 kids in particular, I wanted one that told more of the stories, and the Jesus Storybook Bible is a little bit more abstract in some ways, and I felt like they needed just some more time in the stories as they are written in the Bible before going into the Jesus Storybook Bible. So that's why I got that one. Next up is a foldable picnic blanket. I got this from my mother-in-law years ago. I don't know if it was for my birthday or what, and we have used this thing like crazy. I think the one I have is from Costco, and it folds up so nicely. We use it all summer long. Anytime we go out anywhere, I just leave it in the van and it's ready for us, and it's better than sitting on the grass when you're trying to eat. It wipes off really easily, at least the top does. bottom of ours is definitely stained from a child's birthday party that we went 2 years ago, but it's memories. Okay, so random. The last thing is extra vacuum pads. So I shared back in, I think, November, I got a robot vacuum for our main floor, which I still love. It's really great for getting under the couches and getting all that cat hair. When you've got a long-haired cat, you gotta clean a lot. And I was finding that it came with two, they're mop pads, not vacuum pads. It came with two, but I wouldn't have done the load of laundry in time, so then I couldn't always mop when the vacuum was running as well. And so we bought some kind of knockoff brand ones from Amazon, and they work really good. I like always having a bunch available so that I don't have to do laundry just for that, since I'm doing laundry all the time anyway, but it just makes my life easier. So I think that is all for my list. Like I said, most of it is pretty cheap. The Kobo is the most expensive thing, maybe the watch if they still make them, but most of the stuff is $50 or less, and something like the freezies are $1 or $2. Trying to just keep things real. I'm not the kind of person that's constantly buying all the brand name things, and I think most of you that are watching are more like me. Instead of when I watch some influencer seasonal videos, it's like, okay, every item is minimum $50, if not $500. Not happening, you guys. So hopefully you can find some good either products or ideas, like the idea of having freezies in the freezer ready to go. Hopefully it helps you a little bit. Let me know some of your summer favorites or routines or things that could help inspire our family as well. And thanks for hanging out with me again.